Hey guys, today I will be working on number 1290, which is convert binary number in a linked list to integer. So let's read the description. Given head, which is a reference node to a single linked list, the value of each node in the linked list is either 0 or 1. The linked list holds the binary representation of a number. So return the decimal value of the number in the linked list. The most significant bit is at the end of the linked list. So basically what we're having here is, for example, example 101, which is the binary number that we need to change to decimal format. Now, how to change to decimal format? We use basically this formula. So we multiply each digit by the corresponding power of 2, and we start from the rightmost digit with 2 to the power of 0, then 2 to the power of 1, then 2 to the power of 2, and then we would get number 5 because this one here would give us 4, then this 0, then this would give us 1, which would give us in the end 5. Now, if we come here, we need to represent this in the code. But in this case, what we're having is a linked list. Now, a small summary, a linked list is basically a data structure which would have nodes, and each node would have a value which references the next node. So here the head is referencing this node here with value 0. Then this node here is referencing the tail with value of 1. And the linked list would have the time complexity O of n in case of access and search, and O of 1 in case of insertion and deletion. Now, in this problem, we would be having this object, list node, which would have a constructor, and it would have the variables val, which represents this number 1 or 0 or 1, and next, which would reference the next node. Now, to solve this, first we need to get the length of this linked list to determine how many corresponding power of 2 we're gonna have. So first we need to do count underscore node equal to head, then count equal to 0. Now, while count underscore node, we enter the loop, we do count plus equal to 1, and count underscore node equal to count underscore node dot next. Now, why do we do this again? To get the length of the list to determine how many power of 2 we're gonna have. Now, why do we do this also at the beginning? Here count underscore node would have the same reference as head. So both of these are now in this line here are now pointing to the first node with value 1. Now, when we do this, when we're doing count underscore node dot next, count underscore node is now referencing the node with value 0, then it references the node with value 1 at the end. So that's how we can iterate in a linked list. And of course, the while here is used to determine that we are actually having a node. So when we come to the 1, then the dot next would be null, then it just exits the loop. Now here count, in our example, count would be equal to 3, but because we start with the rightmost digit with 2 to the power of 0, we need to do count minus equal to 1 before now doing this math formula here. So now count would be equal to 2, and now we loop again, but before looping, we need to remember something, that count underscore node is pointing to the null, so we can't use this anymore. What we do is we just use the head variable. So while head, we enter here if head dot val equal to 1, then we need to create a result variable that we would return it. Result plus equal to pow 2 and count. Then we do here count minus equal to 1 and head equal to head.next, and we return result. Now we run this, and as you can see, we get a correct solution. Just to explain this part again in details a bit, here we are looping. The head here is referencing the first node. It's still referencing this. This here is referencing null, but the head is still in the same place. Now here we check if it is 1, then we do just result. We get the power of 2, and according to the count. So it's exactly as here. If it's 1, we're doing 2 to the power of 2 times 1, and we add it to result. Of course, we don't have to do here like times 1 because it's the same thing. And then here we just subtract the count. Why? To keep having the correct number. So here 2, here 1, and then 0. And then of course we keep iterating. We now have head would be at 0. The next iteration it would be at 1, and then at the end it's at null, so it doesn't enter the loop. It just comes here and it returns a result. Now we submit. And as you can see, we have a working solution, and this here would be basically the final solution of this question. And I hope you understood how to solve this question and how to use a linked list. This is an easy question and it doesn't have a lot of operations being done here, but I hope you understand how to use the linked list a bit and how to solve these kind of questions. And let me know in the comments for any questions that you have and any doubts, and I will try to answer them, and see you in the next video.